Did I work for you, Brother Joseph? Okay. All right. So here we are now. So there was supposed to be 5 of the 14 here, but I'm happy with any of them that show up. I appreciate any of them that come out, especially Brother Nesbitt, because I don't think I've ever seen him before. And I graduated with his son. I graduated with Brother Ben Clark's son in Revolt. So I'm very happy to see, and Brother Joe Smith. So I'm gonna put him on the spot. I kind of gave him a little warning that I was gonna call him up and have him say some things. So if we're gonna start off, might as well start off with the best number that come through, number 6. There ain't no lie. 6. Okay. Just give us a brief history about what it was like when you come to the campus, starting the chapter, and your experience after.
Well, good morning, brother. Good morning. Glad to see y'all. I started in Waters in January of '71, and Coach Lee was the athletic director when I started. I forgot who the president was. I was there doing. No, okay. Yeah. I was there for 8 years. I went half-time because I had a full-time job at the post office. So I went half-time. I was a freshman 2 years, sophomore 2 years, a junior 2 years, and a senior 2 years. I had to change my major in order to stay on the GI Bill. So I was a social science major, and I changed over to English major in order to keep the money going. So Hell Week was 6 months because we couldn't get the accreditation. They would not let our Alpha chapter come to Edward Waters until we was a candidate for accreditation. So, like I say, Hell Week was 6 months. We had the grad chapter doing initiation for us. We had Albany State, we had Bethune-Cookman, we had Savannah State. Albany State, we had George Cooper. He was pledging in the line. Bethune-Cookman, I forgot who was whipping on our tail then. Savannah State was Benny Moore, Morris Brown, Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M. Those was the colleges around that was pledging. We started off with 23 candidates on mean 14, and they beat us down to 14. There's 23 of us when we started out, and they beat us down to 14. Like I said, I was 6'2" when I started. So I was elected president of the line, and on the first line of any college that started, we were considered Pearl Big Brothers. I was number 6. Number 1 was James Paul Harper. He was retired E9 out of the Air Force. He's deceased. He was number 1. Number 2 was Roy Baker. He was from Georgia. He used to write out all the stuff I had to say. Bless his heart, he's dead now. Number 3 was Earl Brooks. Number 4 was Clifford Hill. He was my secretary and my co-worker. Number 5, Joe Smith. Number 6 was myself. I was 6. 7 was Slick Mitchell. He was from Brunswick. He was a prize fighter and everything. I think Slick lost every fight. Coming there, all swollen and everything. Slick Mitchell. Henry Slick Mitchell. He was 7. 8 was my brother-in-law, Jerome Perry Skeeter. 9 was Reverend Warren, he's deceased. Oh, wait, 8 is deceased, 9 is deceased. Reverend Warren. 10 was Nathan Nesbitt. 11 was Ralph Jones. His wife was employee at that college. 12 was my brother-in-law. He was the vice president, Larry Griffin. 13 was my brother-in-law, Lester Brown. He was my treasurer. And 14 was Curtis Whitley. We was the meeting 14. And they wore our tail out. Ooh, every Friday I had to go to Ike James. He was in the grad chapter. I had to go and report to him the progress that we accomplished that week. Every Friday, we're on Main and Main Street near Union. He had an office. Abraham, I want you to report to me what progress y'all done the whole week. So I did that. Okay, we started the Alpha Angels and everything. Cliff G was over there. I assigned him to have a young lady. I was married. He was single. I got him to have that. Since I was a married man back then. I got him to handle that. He handled the Alpha Angels, started the chapter with them. We used to have a banquet. I was a postal employee. I stayed there 44 years. Stamp was 8 cents, and I started making $3.06 an hour. I used to get the Mail Handlers Union Hall, and we used to have parties there every weekend, or at least twice a month. We'd throw a party, and we invited the Capitals, the Qs, and everything, the Sigmas. We was small campus, so everybody was invited. Got along. Like I said, I saw the time that I was there, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the time. I was at Edward Waters College then, Nice University. In order to get the plot, everybody had a plot. We didn't have a plot. So I talked with the president, but the president was out. Talked with him, and he said, yeah, what land do you want? So picked out where the plot is now, and I had a truck and got the second line. We rented a mixer, and we stole the dirt from where Undertaker is right now on Gandy. James Graham. They had a big old hill of yellow dirt. So we stole all the dirt from there in order to build a plot that Edward Waters right now. That's where. And he had my truck to pull the mixer. So we got the plot and everything. So that's how it was back then. That's how it was. And hey, I enjoyed it. Because I made the second line build the plot. There was the Mighty Nine. It was one on that line supposed to have came with the Mean 14, but Lester Brown was jug at Lacey Smith and made him almost climb the tree inside in the campus, and he dropped off and he waited to the next line, the Mighty Nine, to come through. That's how it was back then. And I can't think of anything else.
It's been 50 years. 50 years since, yeah, and I was 6'2". I'm like I said, when I started, they whooped on me, had 3 pair of pants on. 3 pair of pants, and it came, that board come through. Ooh, Benny Moore, George Cooper, Coach Lee was the athletic director then, Ike Jean, and see, all of them older men. And Larry's dad was one of the first OBGYNs in Jacksonville. And he, when he was whipping on me so much, he said, Abraham, how you feel? I said, I don't think I can make it. Can I wait till later on or some other time? He said, let me check you out. He took his stethoscope, felt all around my heart. You know what he said? Whip on his ass some more. I just feel bad. So, yeah, ooh, it's saddest. Oh, goodness. But hey, they was brothers. And I had to put up with it. Oh, easy.
You earned the baby.
Yeah. Ooh. And come home. I got drafted in the Army in 1966, making $100 a month. Took the test in the library in 1965 at Stanton for the Air Force. Okay. Jacksonville was Navy time. I wasn't going that way. I ain't like them little hats. That's how. Marine Corps, a lot of my classmates were getting killed over in Vietnam. I wasn't going that way. The Air Force had the prettiest uniforms. So I said, that's where I'm going. So when I got the draft notice, they sent me to NAS Jackson. Okay, got there. Yeah, got us lined up. So I ran over in the Air Force line. I said, I'm not joining the Army. I'm going to the Air Force. I done took the test. So I ran over in the Air Force line. And the sergeant, Ben Clark, I would ask. Ben Clark, I would ask. So he went down the line, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? And he got to me, what's your name? I said, Benjamin Clark. He almost broke my ear off. He said, I've been looking for you, and you disrespected me. If it was left up to me, I'd send your ass straight to Vietnam right now. So I went, got back over in the Army line, sent us to Fort Benning, Georgia, making $100 a month back then. $25 went to a bond. Whoever you were staying with got $25, mom and daddy, and everything. Got in line. He was given they had a big warehouse with about 16 chairs. And the barbers had like a vacuum cleaner to cut all our hair. Got out of there, went to another warehouse, uniforms. Okay, I was 26 in the waist, and they gave me 30. So you're gonna grow to it. All right, after we left there was shots. They was giving us 4 shots at one time in our arm. I flinched, and it split my arm with the needle mark. So the fella that was giving the shots, I mouthed off at him. I said, you don't know how to give shots. And my platoon sergeant came up to me. I was just an E1. Platoon sergeant came up to me and he said, you know who you're talking to? I said, he's a private just like me. He ain't got no stripes. Had a gold oak leaf on his collar. I had extra duty. Extra duty as a private. Everything. So eventually I stayed in 69. I got extended over in Korea, and they extended me a year. I got out in 69, came back, post office in 70, started at Airwaters in 71, and just stayed there and everything. And I enjoyed myself the whole time. there, post office. I'm an elk, I'm an alpha, I'm a shriner, I'm a mason, American Legion. Anywhere I go, I'm welcome. And anytime y'all come to 27 in Liberty, I'm the man there, I handle the money. Y'all can look at my book there. You're welcome, top shelf, drink, top shelf, on me. I handle the money. I handle the money. Anything y'all would like to ask me before I sit down?
We got a question for you.
Whose phone?
Run it to me.
Is that the name?
So, what's your most favorable, most memorable moment within these 50 years?
The night they released us from all the whippings in the library. In the library I felt relieved. I felt relieved. I say the burden is off of me. That was a relief from me. Woo, thank you, Jesus, I made it.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, brothers, younger brothers, people here. I don't know if you understand, like we got 50 years right here.
Yeah.
This who started it all for us. Like, it's an honor to have these brothers still here.
Yes.
It's an honor to have these brothers right here speaking. So, Brother Nathan Nesbitt. Now, what is it, Avenue B?
Yes.
Avenue B.
Yes, sir.
You make it over to Avenue B. And you can't be scared going over there. You make it over to Avenue B. His brother has his own business, Nesbitt Seafood.
Yeah.
You make it over there. Like a whole lot of businesses in Jacksonville closed. Marianne's was shut down. Was it Murphy's? Shut down. Jenkins shut down. Right now, Mr. K's shut down. Right now, Jim's Place. Come on, man. Jim's Place ain't on that list.
It was on my list.
Here we go.
Outstanding. I want, first of all, I want to thank you all for inviting us to come to this breakfast. It's a time that I haven't seen these brothers in quite some time. I'm glad to see them. And I'm glad to see how you all have grown. And I just want to thank you all for being here and doing this for us. Benny was, to tell my story, I don't want to stay up here as long as my brother did. I want to tell you this, one thing that when Benny first came to me, I think all of us, it was about four or five, or six of us that was come from Vietnam. And we all worked at the post office. And Benny was probably the one who kind of gathered all of the men at the post office to work together to come into being Alpha at Edwards College. We were all on the GI Bill. And most of them were clerks. They made 10 cents more an hour than what I made. I was a mailman, what you call a mail handler. And Benny came to us and he got about 5 of us, maybe 6 of us together to want to be join this organization at Edwards College. And of course, the GI Bill was, you know, just like he said, we got money from the government that paid for us. And now, my tale is not as, I didn't get that many whoopings like Benny and the rest of the brothers, because I guess I had an excuse, and it was acceptable. I worked at the post office full time, and I was trying to get a business. My dad was trying to get a business, and he had started, and I'd come back home from Vietnam, and some of us didn't come back with the same mind that others had. I don't know if Benny, but I didn't ever ask him, was he in combat situation, but I was. And when I was over there, when I left Vietnam, the day that I left Vietnam, I was on a plane coming back on a helicopter. And they had just told me on the helicopter that my unit that I was serving in had got overrun. And that shows you how God, I thought that God had, I've always had that in my mind, that God saved me from that. Because I'd been over there for about 10 months and you had to be there at least 10 months in order for you to go home. But my grandmother had gotten sick and they called me and I was able to come home. And I started at the post office and me and my dad wasn't getting along that well. I don't think my mind was where it should have been. And of course I was pledging and working full time and at the restaurant. And I escaped most of those whoopings that Benny talking about. And the grad chapter that made us, I guess, thought about my situation. And they let me, I went over. And of course when I got to Ed Waters, I was a junior senior because I had some hours at Florida A&M when I was there. I played in the band, and then I got 2 notices to be drafted. And I said to myself, well, I might as well go down there and volunteer to try to get one of those jobs that I wouldn't have to be a grunt soldier, the front line shooting, people shooting at me, and call myself being smart enough to avoid that. And of course, I took tests, and just so happened that I was able to qualify for 1 year when I first went in the service. And 1 year, they told me I couldn't take no more tests. I had to go to Vietnam. And those tests that you had, took tests, and as long as you passed them, they'll let you go on to another class. But I wasn't in there for 3 years. And so I was at the highest rank, and in 3 years I was I made a buck sergeant. And when I went over to Vietnam, I was a buck sergeant, and my MOS was radio teletype. I was a team chief. And well, anyway, when I came back to Ed Waters, and Benny and them convinced me to join them, and I joined Alpha, and I just escaped most of them whoopings. And I was glad to have been a part of the fraternity. And we had it rough. And my mind was not as sharp as it was when I came back from Vietnam. And I kind of stayed to myself. But that's my story. Any questions you might want to ask me about give you the same opportunity that Benny gave you all. I don't want to overstay. Any questions? Why Alpha? Well, I tell you what, when I was at A&M, played in the band, I was impressed by what I saw with the Alpha on the Florida A&M campus. And I would have pledged there, but I was in the band at the same time. And I was just, that's the fraternity that impressed me, and those are the persons that had to have the academiology, I guess that's what it was, the term, those, you had to have a certain average in order to be an alpha. And I think the alphas were supposed to be the smartest, the most intelligent people on the campus. And,
Amen.
at A&M. And so I said, that's what I want to be. So that's one of the reasons right there. They just impressed me in the academics.
Here's another question to hang.
Well, first of all, thank you for being here with us this morning. It's amazing to hear your story and your memories. I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. But I'm just curious, what did it cost to pledge Alpha in 1970?
Let's see,
That's just nothing wrong with that.
nothing. No money at all.
Oh, wait.
The thing about it, Alpha was the grad chapter.
Yeah.
They wanted us there. They wanted on Edward's campus. They were big in Jackson. The grad chapter. It was big. And Ed Waters was a point that they wanted. So I don't know if it cost us anything. Okay.
Brad wrote that check.
Go ahead, yes, sir.
And I guess this will probably be a question for all of you, 14 may come front and center. Looking back, thinking about that you were the very start of something dynamic on the campus. 15 years ago, what are your thoughts and your feelings now that you see all of the fruits of your labor? And
You know, I'm just amazed at what we started. We really didn't understand what was going on when we started this thing. I'll tell you the truth. Benny did most of the lead work. He was everywhere, and they did everything for us. You know, and my little part in it was a little bit, a little bit of money that I had. You know, I would make sure that the organization had it. But so I'm just glad that it has come this far, and I'm glad that to see what you all are carrying on. So when we first started out, it was nothing like what we thought it would be at the end. Yeah. Any questions? Other questions?
Just in case y'all don't know, this is Benny Moore Senior. This is his son, so if y'all want to take him out back.
Oh, yeah. All me.
Yes, sir.
Just tell about your legacy, your sons, following your footsteps, and then the same thing.
Well, my son, both my sons, one was an Alpha at Bethune-Cookman. I think he was the president chapter down there. And my youngest son, he was Alpha at Florida State. At the same time. Yeah, he was Delta. He was A&M, yeah. But both of my sons pledged Alpha, and they did very well. They're doing good. Both of them. And my oldest son, he's at the restaurant, and well, he started out down there at Universal Studios, and he had about 4 or 5 of those courts down there that he managed. He was doing pretty good. I'm glad he came back here and tried to carry on the restaurant. But did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Yeah, he did too. Yeah, he did too.
All right. Appreciate that.
One last question was Eugene Butler around when y'all came through? Was he still alive?
Gene Butler?
Yeah.
You talking about the football player?
Nah, the principal. Was the school name out? Butler?
Eugene Butler, during my time, Eugene Butler was the principal at Gilbert. And I went to his funeral. And then they named the school Eugene Butler and everything. I didn't know him personally.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
supposed to do. Everybody should be taking pictures. Everybody should be on it. All right, also. Brother, you might want to have walk corner and see that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Grandfather was up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a president when I was there. Man, never will. So many times.
All right, so got Brother Joe Smith here. Now, Brother Joe Smith is an example for most of us in here, because most of us are not active in the graduate chapter. Brother Joe Smith came through in 75, and he's still actively involved in the grad chapter of Salon Lambda. You got Sigma Pi, other brothers here from Salon Lambda. This brother right here from DXL, district champs. I just throw that out there. Yeah, we won the district. Here you go, Brother Joe Smith. Brother Joe Smith, hey, nobody needs to move or pick up a piece of paper.
Good morning to all of you. I enjoy this. This is, I don't know how to really say it, but I am full for what you have done. You could have forgotten us, but you didn't. You remember the sacrifice that we made and the effort in which we went through to get it done. I remember when I was a student at El Waters, I was at the end of my junior year, and I saw Coach Lee, and he saw me walking across the lawn, and he asked me, could he talk to me? I said, of course. Had no idea what he wanted to talk to me about. So we went to his office, and he sat down, and he said, you ever heard of Alpha Phi Alpha? And I said, perhaps I have, but I'm not sure. He said, have you ever considered pledging? I said, no way. He said, what I'm trying to pledge is graduating from this school, because I have a son. I have another child on the way. Me and my wife, we got to get busy real quick here to try to come up with some money. So I was just thinking about living. And I said, he said, well, you make me a promise? I said, what's that, Coach? He said, by the next time I see you, will you have your mind made up whether you want to pledge this fraternity or not? I said, yes, sir. So I kept avoiding him. Every time I saw him, I would go another way. But one day I kind of like fell in a trap that I couldn't get away from. And so he asked me again. So I said, I'll give it a try and see what happens. Let's see what my grade point average is, because I know Alpha are very highly intelligent men from my high school in Gainesville, Florida. There was about 6 or 7 men who were educators, and they all were alphas, but I never thought I would even play it, but I happen to remember them. But anyway, I accepted. But what the unique thing about my line that I never will forget, even though it was 14 guys, 12 of them were military men. I was very impressed by that. And 2 of those 12 was retired, had done 30 years in the military. That was James Hopper, number 1, and Reuben Warren, I think was number 8, I'm not sure. But number 9. So when I graduated from high school, from college, I met a man who still impressed me today. His name is Benny James Moore, Senior. I know Junior sitting over there in the corner. I know when Junior made it to this side. met him, and there were some unique things about Brother Moore. We attended the same church. I was impressed by that. And I think he was impressed with me being a member and active in the same church. I always put God at the top. I always. And I think when you do that, things will work out for you. But pledging was kind of up and down with me. When I was on the line, my closest friend was number 3. His name was Earl Brooks. Earl did something for me no one else had done. And I was looking for a job. I had a job, but I was looking for a better job. And he said, I can help you get a better job. I can get you a job where I work. And that was Winn-Dixie. And I went to work at Winn-Dixie. A couple of times I wanted to get off the line because the burden was really getting kind of rough. And if Brother Clark told you about the burden, and believe me, it was a burden. Wasn't a cakewalk in the park, not at all. Because you was, everybody that wore that letter 858, you belonged to them. If they came on campus, they knew we were there, they found us. And I remember this brother came from Tennessee, named Tiny Blanchard. And he saw me, said, what's your number? I said, number 5. Well, that was my number. What you doing with that number? I said, they gave it to me. Oh, you smart. I said, no, sir. I just asked him, what's this? He said, I got something for you, smart guy. So it was a tree. He said, I want you to go over there by that tree. And I want you to count every leaf on that tree, which was an impossible task. But that's the assignment he gave me. So I went over there, started counting them. And, like he told me, because I know I didn't want to receive a blessing. And that's what I call when you was online. You didn't want to get that blessing. That blessing wasn't nice. And so I didn't want to be blessed. So I went over there and started counting the leaves on the tree. It just happened, the Almighty started blowing the leaves on the tree, the wind. And so he said, how many you counted? I forgot some number. I told him. And but I said to myself, now I got to remember this number I told him, because I know he's going to come back over here and harass me again about these leaves. But anyway, that was just things that they put you through. They could bother you at any time. Believe me, trying to think, we used to say we were Mr. Gilmore property. And that was a saying from, I'm trying to think of the comedian name that put out, it was real popular. No, it wasn't Ray Fox. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor. And Walter Ware. He used to use that term, Mr. Gilmore property.
Allen University.
Yeah, he's from Allen University. And he said, Mr. Gilmore property, that means almost throws you back into slavery. You go thinking about slavery, that you was owned by them. Walter, I became very close to Walter because when I got involved with the grad chapel, I was the chaplain for 5 years. And I went to see Walter twice. And the second time I went to see him, he couldn't feed himself. And he couldn't walk. So I took him by his arm, had him hook his arm in my arm. And I walked him all the way back to his room and helped him get into bed. In about a week or maybe less than that, he was gone. And those are the memories I have of him. as I said earlier, some days were good days, some days were not so good days. But one of the days that I feared most was Sunday evening. Because that was the day of blessing. And we had to go on the campus at Elk Waters. We were there like 3 hours, but it looked like we were there 24. So we would go in the library, we would go over our study material, and Brother Moore, my dear friend, he must have recorded an album. He had so many Alpha songs, I just couldn't believe all these songs he was coming up. We had to sing all these songs. And then we would leave there, we would march down back over to the campus, and we'd start having other things going on with the fraternity. They would line us up. We all knew one thing that was gonna happen. A blessing was, I don't know how, whatever we were doing, we were gonna be blessed before we went home. We definitely were gonna get that blessing. But I, like my brothers, like I said, one guy I was real close to, and that was Earl Brooks, and why I shared that with you. We was a very serious-minded group of men, very serious. We worked together, we got along. We had to pay dues to Lester Brown, one of our brothers. And Lester would look for that money every Monday or Tuesday. He didn't want to hear any excuses why you didn't have that money. And we started a treasury, we started saving money. I would say we were more business-minded group that I had ever been with. And we worked together. And one thing we had in common, we loved each other. And it should be about love and sticking together. I've enjoyed Alpha. I think another important thing happened. As I said earlier, I became close to Brother Moore because of our circumstances. And when I graduated from college, I wanted to be a part of the grad chapter. But I didn't have the funds to be part of the grad chapter. I had 2 babies home, and so we didn't have any extra money to spend. And I wanted to be a part of it. And I never will forget going to the grad chapter meeting one night. I became very depressed because I saw all these guys going in. All these men were professional men. And here I was just getting out of college. Some of them understood that I had no money. And some of them was saying like, the message they sent to me, well, why is he here? There's a fee to be part of this organization. And so I told Brother Moore, because he invited me, I shared with him, I tell you what, Brother Moore, I'll take my money. Whenever you trying to do something for the sell tickets or whatever you're trying to do, I'm your man. I'll support you. And through that, our relationship still goes strong. Still goes strong, even to today. I was a college student like Brother Clark, who had been started at Waters in 1967 and went part-time, then full-time, and later on ended up getting married, and I wanted to return to be a full-time student. So I was more into being a student, but I was supporting my brothers. Whatever they wanted to do, I was there. I was with them, I was down with them. It wasn't easy, fellas. Believe me, it wasn't easy. And the reason I think it wasn't easy is because we didn't have an Alpha Phi Alpha chapter on campus. We were all blind to what we had encountered. We was totally in the dark. But we had a few soldiers, they had all kind of tricks. So I learned all kind of tricks watching them as we traveled the journey. So we are here now, 9 of us still living. And then we have brothers who are deceased. And I still miss those brothers. Actually, God give me a vision where I can still actually see them as I'm standing there talking. I can see all those guys. Those memories are so strong. I apologize if I may have gone too long.
No.
He's sweet.
Yeah. But my son, I have a son. He's out, he's in the grad chapter. And I never thought he would pledge anything. Well, he told me, said, Dad, I'm getting ready to pledge. And I said, at your age? He said, yeah. And he said, I have a sponsor and I have a recommender. And those 2 men were dear friends of mine, the second one really became a good friend of mine. And that was Brother Benny James Moore Sr. and Brother Calvin Burney. I don't know if
Yes.
those 2 men took my son as their son. And he became a member of Alpha Phi Alpha through the grad chapter. So, once again, I thank you guys for inviting me. I thank y'all for having the heart, first off, having the heart to do this for us. You didn't have to do it.
Yeah, we did.
But you did.
Yes, we did.
And I am grateful. And I know my brothers who are unable to be here, if they were here, they would enjoy this as much as I'm enjoying. And during alumni week, I always make my business to go up to the campus just to meet some of the young guys who are there. And I met a few. And they always treat me like I'm a king, but I'm just a regular person. But I thank you. I thank you. And thank you, Brother Barnes.
Appreciate
Be
you,
blessed,
brother.
folks.
I think you got a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Flynn.
Me and you got close from being in the alumni chapter.
Right.
Can you explain to the brothers what kept you active in the alumni chapter all these years?
I've been active because the founders had a vision of bringing us together as a community. And I think that's very important. I worked in the department, I worked for JSO for 30 years. I was a correction officer. I saw many of our people who looked like me, and you, and others, come back and forth to jail. And I used to say to myself, there's a better way to live than coming back and forth and me locking you up behind in these bars. We don't know how you're gonna come out in court. And you building a record for yourself, and it's not a good one. It gave me a chance to talk to some young people. I saw some people turn their lives around. I thought Alpha played a major role in that. I thought that's what we were supposed to be about, helping our neighbors, and certainly helping young people. If you could just open their heads up and put some knowledge in them, you'll be impressed. So I challenge all you guys, if you know some young person that's going astray, that you feel like you can get close to them and talk to them, I say by all means do it. Because you never know what impact you're gonna have on a person's life. I know I've been able to change some people's lives that was incarcerated. I was really impressed when a young man became a minister, and now he's a pastor of a church. And I was telling, I don't know what role that I really played, but you say I did. So I accept the gift that you give it back to me. Any more questions?
All right, brother, appreciate you. All right, hang on, brothers, hang on. Oh, so, I'll let you finish. Go ahead and finish, so I got something to say.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me go on.
Come on, bro, stand there with a cane on. It was 30 minutes, man.
I got it. He ain't gonna go over. Yeah, man. I got it. I got it. Hey, brother, you gotta get that same smile. See, they ain't want you to smile loud. You know what I mean?
All right, real quick. Hang on, brothers. Everybody got to use the bathroom one time? Hang on 1 second.
What him saying?
No, not him. No, you go sit down.
You just talk about me. Not go.
So, there was a lot more people that was expected to be here. A lot of people a lot of brothers that could not be here. So, I want to recognize those brothers that are no longer with us. Reason for the empty chair by the letters. So, many of you have line brothers that are no longer with us. So, after I do that, then we'll briefly pass the mic around because we know who they are, and we don't have to have no long draw that story, but just basically who you are, the year you crossed, and just very, very briefly, because we got to be out of here by 12, something about you, so they get to know you. Okay, so, what's that? Okay. All right, well, we got to get Wiggins to work. Wiggins got to get on that wheel. All right, so. That's the boss. And so, they're in alphabetical order, so just know that. So it's no. Hey man, nobody's permitted to talk. I'll pick up paper when I'm talking. That's Joe Clark. All right, here we go. Omega Brothers. Roy Baker. Henry Bird. Alton J. Simpson. Thomas Davis. Somebody gonna have to help me out with this one. Akimi George. That's it? Okay. Akimi George. Vincent Gilmore. Larry Griffin. Jeffrey Hardiman. James Harper. Otis Hunter. Eric Johnson. Ishman Johnson, Gerald Lumpkin, Jerome Perry, Bobby Rivers, Chris Rule, Carlton Wallace, Weldon Wallace,